Hi and namaste. Let's chat about the basics of fasting, the who, what, when, where, why. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing some tips that are personal of my own, because that's what we're here for. We're here to learn from each other, to help each other and inspire each other. So let's get into it. So, isn't fasting just starvation? Oh my gosh, I get this question all the time. So it's important to be clear, what is fasting? So, fasting is defined as the voluntary absence of food for spiritual, health, religious, or for other reasons. The key word is voluntary. You are always in control when you fast. What it means is that there's food available for you to choose to, and you choose not to eat. And the reasons are all up to you. Now, starvation, on the other hand, is when you don't know where your food is going to be, when food is going to be available. That isn't what fasting is. Fasting is a conscious decision on your part to not eat, but don't forget, you are always in control of this process. You can start fasting at any time. You can stop. By the way, if you don't feel good, you can stop. If you feel well, you can start. Do more or less. It's always voluntary. That's the key difference between fasting and starvation. Now, here's the disclaimer. There are some people who should not fast. Remember, when you're fasting, you're not eating, so there's no nutrition. So in certain conditions, you want to make sure you're getting enough nutrients, like for growing kids, of course, and if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. That is very important to get enough nutrients. So those people should not do long fasts. For example, there's also different situations. If people are underweight or if you're malnourished for any reason, of course, then again, nutrients are very important for those situations where you don't want to fast. However, in most other cases, for adults, anyone can fast almost. In most situations, again, you should really talk to your doctor. If you're taking medications, for example, some need to be taken with food. In those cases, you should talk to your doctor, of course. But how you should arrange your medications differently, or if it's even good for you, that so you can adjust that to your fast. Now, the other situation is if you're on medications that you're going to affect your blood sugar, to make sure that you talk to your doctor. If you're taking medications at all, I'll just say, if you have a history of eating disorders, well, you might want to be careful and also speak to your doctor. You can fast anytime you feel like it. You can fast like once a year, you can fast once a month, once a week, or even every day. And how long you fast for is completely up to you. You can just fast from dinner until breakfast, or you can breakfast the next day, like 12 to 14 hours. You could go 16 hours. And that's called restrictive eating or intermittent fasting. You can go 24 hours, like one meal a day in the schedule. And I do that, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. Or you can do multiple day fast. Like the world record for fasting is 382 days. So there's really no limit to fasting if you're healthy with it. And you can vary them up. So if you're going on holiday or you're going on a cruise or it's Christmas time, you can fast when you want. Or you could stop fasting during Christmas, and then when Christmas is over and you want to get some of that excess weight off, you can turn it right back on and start fasting. Turn it off, turn it on, stop, start, whatever you feel like. It's completely up to you. That's what's so awesome. There are many great reasons to fast. The most obvious one is to lose weight. It's a great way to lose weight, after all. If you don't eat, you're going to lose weight. But there's a lot of other health benefits to fasting. You can reverse type 2 diabetes. So if you don't eat, your blood sugars will fall, and that's going to let you help manage your blood sugars without taking medication. How awesome. And if you reduce your weight and you reverse your type 2 diabetes, that's going to put you out like far less risk of all types of diseases like heart disease, stroke, cancer, and these are the biggest problems we face today. But other than that, lots of people feel better when they're fasting. That's why people often say it's a cleansing period or detox. A lot of people feel that they have more energy when they're fasting. They think more clearly, and there's a good reason why. That might be. But there's also other more practical reasons. It's actually a way to save time. It's a way to save money, a way to simplify your life. That's not even to mention a lot of the spiritual and religious reasons to fast. Fasting really just any period of time that you don't eat, and it can differ on two major pathways. One is what is allowed during the fasting period. Now, a classic fast is water only, but there are many different ways to change that, many variations you can allow. For example, green tea, herbal tea, black tea, coffee, even coffee with real creamer, or even some bone broth. While these aren't classic fasts, you can still see very great results with these fasts, so don't rule them out. So, you can really fast for any period of time, but there's two very popular regimens, and one is called time-restricted feeding, or more popular said, intermittent fasting. It's also called a 16 and 8, and what that means is you fast for 16 hours, and you eat during an 8-hour window. Let's say, for example, at 11 a.m. you eat, and then you only eat till 7 p.m., and then after 7 p.m., you just stop. And another popular fast, and one I do is the 24-hour fast. And also you can call it one meal a day. Now here you might eat from breakfast to breakfast or dinner to dinner. For example, given a 24-hour period, you're not eating. You know, these fasts are very popular. In fact, Mike Tyson is one that does that. And the longer fast you might have to do less of them then. Often so during the time eating, you might do like a 6 to 7 days per week, one meal a day, like on intermittent fasting, and then one meal a day, 3 to 4 days a week. But there's nothing stopping you from doing more or doing less. It's all according to your needs. So, beginners fasting, if you're just starting to fast, what would I recommend? I would start by cutting out your snacks for a week, just eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's it, no snacks. And then you progress to a 16-hour fast. During that time, you might allow yourself some green tea, some herbal tea, coffee with a little bit of cream, no sugar. So, it's a variation. And if you're getting results, then continue. Now, if you're not getting results that you're hoping for, then you can slowly change to a longer fast, or maybe more of a classic water-only fast, and maybe some minerals. Whatever you do, make sure you're staying safe and healthy while you're doing it, and that you're feeling well. And then just keep going. What are some personal fasting tips that make fasting a habit? And just remember that everything is different when you just begin. You're not used to it. It may seem a little difficult, but if you keep doing it over and over again, you will get used to it. And this is not just true about fasting. It can be anything going on. Like, for example, if you walk into a very bright room, it's going to be strange. But then, just like fasting, if you keep it up, the more of a habit, just kind of like skipping a meal. Like if you don't eat breakfast so much, it's really easy for me to skipping dinner is easy for me because I'm in that habit. It doesn't feel strange for me to skip dinner often. In fact, more often than not, it feels strange when I do have dinner. So I have tea at the most. And so when I don't skip dinner, I feel strange. And I skip dinner without even thinking about it. So you can do the same. The secret in the 1970s, when they ate dinner at 6 and they didn't eat again until 8 a.m. the next day. So they got, 12 to 14 hours of fasting without even thinking about it. So they made it a habit. And when you do make it a habit like that, you're going to automatically have some weight loss. And that's the basics of fasting to get you started. Thank you, namaste, for your time. You are a miracle. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below and turn on the bell, bing, for notifications. Check out my other videos. Much love and satisfaction.